Hello, my wonderful students. I'm so happy to talk to you today because what I'm going to share can completely change the way you learn English. If you listen carefully and follow what I say, you will see that learning English is not as hard as you think. You can speak English fluently, and you can do it faster than you imagine. Today, I will show you how. Many English learners feel nervous or shy when they try to speak. Maybe you feel the same way. Sometimes you want to speak, but you stop because you're afraid of making mistakes. Maybe you understand English when you read or listen to it, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank. You can't find the right words, and it feels frustrating. You might even think, I've been studying for years, but I'm not improving. Let me tell you something very important. That feeling is normal. It happens to almost everyone who learns a new language. You are not alone, and this is not the end of your journey. In fact, this is just the beginning. From today, things can start to change. You can start learning English in a new, easier, and more natural way. And the best part? You can do it faster than you ever thought possible. Now listen carefully. You do not need to study grammar all day. You do not need to memorize long lists of vocabulary or try to be perfect all the time. The secret to speaking English well is simple. You must live the language. What does that mean? It means you need to make English a part of your daily life. You should think in English, listen to English, speak English, and even dream in English. Don't just study English, live it. Think about how you learned your first language when you were a child. Did you sit down with grammar books? Did you study vocabulary lists? Of course not. You learned by listening, watching, imitating, and practicing. You made many mistakes, but you kept going. That's exactly how you will learn English too. So, from today, I want you to forget the things that make English feel hard. Forget the complicated grammar rules. Forget trying to be perfect. And most importantly, forget the fear of making mistakes. Because here's the truth. The biggest reason people fail to speak English is not because they're bad at learning. It's because they are afraid. They're afraid of making mistakes, afraid of sounding silly, afraid of being judged. But mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. Think about how a baby learns to walk. When a baby falls down, do they quit? No. They get up and try again and again until one day they can walk without thinking about it. Learning English is the same. Every time you make a mistake, you are getting one step closer to fluency. So, I want you to repeat these words with me. English is easy. I can speak English. I am improving every day. These simple sentences are very powerful. When you say them often, your brain starts to believe them. And when your brain believes them, your confidence grows. When you believe that English is easy, your progress becomes faster and smoother. So, the first step to mastering English is this. Change your mindset. If you keep thinking that English is difficult, your brain will make it difficult. But if you believe that English is easy and fun, your brain will start to relax and learn faster. You'll notice that you understand more, remember more, and speak more confidently. Remember, learning English is a journey. It takes time, but it doesn't have to be stressful. You can enjoy it. You can make it a part of your daily life. Watch movies, listen to songs, read books, talk to people, all in English. The more you use the language, the more natural it will feel. So, from now on, I want you to believe in yourself. You can learn English. You can speak English. You can become fluent. All you need to do is take small steps every day, keep practicing, and never give up. Mistakes are your teachers. Confidence is your strength. And your positive mindset is your secret weapon. You are not just learning English, you are becoming an English speaker. Keep going, keep believing, and keep living the language. You can do this. This is exactly how learning English works. Mistakes are a normal and important part of learning. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are your best teachers. Every time you make one, you're learning something new. If you're not making mistakes, it means you're not challenging yourself enough. You're not growing. So, let's say this together. Mistakes help me learn. From today, stop saying things like, "My English is bad," or "I can't speak English." Those words don't help you. They only make you feel stuck. Instead, start saying positive things like, "I am learning. I am improving every day." These small changes in how you think will make a big difference in how fast you learn. Because the way you think affects the way you learn. When you think positively, your mind opens up. When you believe in yourself, learning becomes easier and more enjoyable. Step 2. Surround yourself with English. Now that your mindset is changing, it's time to move to the next step, surrounding yourself with English. Many people believe that they can only become fluent if they live in an English-speaking country, like the United States, Canada, or the UK. But that's not true. You can create an English-speaking environment no matter where you live. Let's start with something simple. Change the language on your phone to English. Every time you unlock your phone or check a message, you'll see English words. At first, it might feel strange, but soon it will start to feel normal. This small change will help your brain get used to English naturally, every single day. Another powerful habit is to start thinking in English. When you first begin, you might think in your native language and then translate into English. That's okay, but it slows you down. Instead, try to think directly in English. For example, when you wake up in the morning, think to yourself, "I'm getting out of bed now. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making breakfast." These simple thoughts help your brain switch to English automatically. And here's another amazing trick. Talk to yourself in English. Yes, you heard that right. Talk to yourself. It may sound funny, but it really works. Stand in front of a mirror and have a little conversation. Ask yourself questions like, "How are you today? What am I going to do next? What do I want to eat for lunch?" Practice speaking without fear or judgment. You are your best practice partner because you can speak anytime, anywhere. The more you talk to yourself in English, the more confident you'll become, and soon speaking will start to feel natural. Step 3. Stop worrying about grammar. Now, let's talk about grammar, one of the biggest fears for English learners. Many people think they need to know every grammar rule before they can speak. That's not true. Grammar is important, but it's not the first thing you should focus on. If you worry too much about grammar, you'll always hesitate before speaking. You'll spend too much time thinking about rules and not enough time actually using the language. Think about how you learned your first language as a child. Did you read grammar books? Did you study complex rules? No. You listened, repeated, and spoke. You made mistakes, but you learned from them. That's exactly how English should be learned too. Instead of memorizing hundreds of grammar rules, start with simple sentences that you can use in real life. For example, "I am eating." "She is going to work." "They are watching TV." These short sentences will help you start speaking right away. The more you use them, the more naturally the grammar will come to you, without even realizing it. Also, try this. Listen and repeat. When you hear native speakers in movies, videos, or songs, don't just understand what they're saying. Repeat their words out loud. Copy their pronunciation, rhythm, and tone. This will not only improve your grammar, but also make your speech sound more natural and fluent. OURI, becoming fluent. Step 4. Speak English every day. The more you speak, the more confident you will become, even if you only speak for a few minutes a day. Speaking English is one of the most important parts of becoming fluent. You can't learn to speak if you never open your mouth. So, talk to yourself. Talk to a friend. Talk to your mirror. It doesn't matter who you talk to, what matters is that you practice. Don't worry about your mistakes. Don't wait to be perfect. Just focus on speaking. The more you speak, the more comfortable you will feel, and soon speaking English will feel completely natural. Try to make English a part of your everyday life. You can practice while doing simple daily tasks. For example, when you're cooking, say, "I am cooking now." This smells delicious. When you're driving to work, say, "I'm driving to work now." It's such a nice day. When you're cleaning your room, say, "I'm cleaning my room." I love how fresh it feels. These small moments make a big difference. By using English to describe your daily activities, you'll train your brain to think in English naturally. Soon, speaking English will become as easy and natural as breathing. Step 5. Build confidence through practice. Confidence doesn't appear overnight, it grows with practice. The more you speak, the more confident you become. So, make it your goal to speak English every single day, even if it's only for a few minutes. You can talk to yourself, talk to your reflection in the mirror, talk to your family, or talk to a friend who's also learning English. You can even record yourself speaking and listen to your progress. At first, you might feel shy or nervous, but remember, everyone feels that way at the beginning. With time and daily practice, your fear will fade away and your confidence will grow stronger. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every mistake you make is another step toward improvement. Mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. Here's a simple truth. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. When you practice every day, you start to feel more comfortable with the sounds, rhythm, and flow of English. Eventually, you'll start speaking without thinking too much. Your words will come naturally. Now, you've learned how to speak English with confidence, how to stop worrying about grammar, and how to live and think in English every day. You've discovered the real secret to fluency. It's not about studying harder. It's about living the language. But there's one more important skill we need to talk about, one that will take your English to the next level. Building your vocabulary the easy and fun way. Now let's talk about something that many learners struggle with, vocabulary. Maybe you feel like your vocabulary isn't growing fast enough. Maybe you learn new words but forget them quickly. Or maybe you can understand many words when reading or listening, but you can't remember them when it's time to speak. If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. Every learner feels that way sometimes. The good news is that learning vocabulary doesn't have to be boring or difficult. In fact, it can be fun, easy, and even exciting. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to make that happen. So grab your notebook, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Why vocabulary is so important. Before we learn how to build your vocabulary, let's understand why it's so important. Imagine you're speaking English and you suddenly forget a word. You know what you want to say, but you can't find the right words. The conversation stops and you feel embarrassed or stuck. That's what happens when your vocabulary is limited. Having a strong vocabulary is like having a big toolbox. The more tools you have, the more things you can build. The more words you know, the easier it becomes to express yourself clearly and confidently. You'll understand others better, and they'll understand you. But here's something very important. Learning vocabulary is not just about memorizing long lists of words. It's about learning how to use those words in real-life situations. You don't need to know every English word in the dictionary. You just need to know the words that help you communicate your thoughts clearly and naturally. When you start learning new words the right way, in context, with meaning and examples, your confidence will grow, and your English will become much more fluent. Step 1. Learn vocabulary in context. When you learn vocabulary in context, you don't just learn what the word means, you learn how and when to use it. For example, let's take the word excited. Don't just memorize the definition. Instead, learn how it's used in real sentences like, "I'm excited for the weekend." She was excited to meet her favorite celebrity. When you learn words this way, you see how they fit naturally into conversations. You're not just studying a list of words, you're learning how to communicate with them. The next time you hear that word in a movie, song, or conversation, you'll immediately recognize it. You'll understand its meaning and you'll be able to use it easily and confidently in your own speech. This method makes vocabulary learning simple, natural, and long-lasting. Step 2. Use the one-word-a-day method. Now, let's talk about one of the easiest and most effective ways to grow your vocabulary, the one-word-a-day method. This method is simple, fun, and doesn't take much time, but it gives you amazing results. Here's how it works. 1. Choose one new word each day. Pick a word that you find interesting or useful. You can find new words in books, YouTube videos, songs, movies, or conversations you hear around you. You can even choose a word related to your hobbies or daily life. 2. Learn the meaning and pronunciation. Look up the definition of the word. Check how it's pronounced. Listen to it on a dictionary app or watch a video where someone uses it in a sentence. 3. Use the word throughout the day. Once you've learned the word, try to use it as many times as possible that day. For example, if your new word is amazing, you can say, "That movie was amazing." "I had an amazing time at the party." "This food tastes amazing." Every time you use the word, your brain gets stronger connections to it. Soon, that new word will become part of your active vocabulary, the words you can use easily when speaking. If you do this every day, by the end of 1 month you'll know 30 new words. In 6 months, you'll know 180 new words. And by the end of 1 year, you'll know 365 new English words. Imagine how much more confident you'll feel when speaking English. Step 3. Use flashcards. If you want to speed up your vocabulary learning, flashcards are one of the best tools you can use. They're simple, effective, and fun. You can make your own flashcards with paper or use apps like Anki, Quizlet, or Memrise. Here's how to make them work for you. 1. Write the word on one side. On the other side, write the definition, an example sentence, or even draw a small picture to help you remember it. 2. Review them regularly. Flashcards only work if you use them often. You can review them once a day, every other day, or once a week. The key is consistency. Spending just 10 to 15 minutes a day reviewing flashcards can make a huge difference. The repetition helps the words stay in your long-term memory. You can even make it a game, test yourself, mix the cards, and see how many you can remember. The more you play, the more fun and effective your learning becomes. Step 4. Continued watch TV shows and videos in English. When you watch English movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos, try to imitate the characters. Say the new words and sentences exactly the way they say them. Listen carefully to their tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. Then, repeat after them. This technique not only helps you improve your pronunciation, but it also helps your brain remember new words more effectively. When you speak the word and hear it at the same time, it sticks in your memory much faster. Also, take notes while watching. If you hear a new word or expression you don't understand, pause the video and look it up. Write it in your notebook with its meaning, a simple example sentence, and maybe a note about where you heard it. Later, practice using that word in your own sentences or conversations. This method works because you're not just learning random words, you're learning real English that people use in everyday life. That means you'll be able to use those words naturally and confidently when you speak. Step 5. Engage in real conversations. One of the most powerful ways to learn new words is through real conversations. When you speak with others, you use the vocabulary you've learned, and you also hear new words in context. Talk with native speakers, friends, or other English learners. When you have a real conversation, your brain is active and focused. You're thinking, listening, and responding. This is how your vocabulary grows quickly and naturally. There are many ways to do this. Join a language exchange program. You can connect online with people who want to learn your language while helping you practice English. Talk with friends or family. Even a short conversation each day makes a difference. Find a speaking partner. Practice regularly, talk about different topics, and don't worry about mistakes. Remember, every conversation is practice. The more you speak, the more confident you'll feel, and the easier it will be to remember new words. Mistakes are completely normal. They are part of the process. Every time you use a new word, even if it's not perfect, you're improving. Step 6. Keep a vocabulary journal. Another powerful method to grow your vocabulary is keeping a vocabulary journal. Every time you learn a new word, write it down in your notebook or in a notes app. Include the word, its meaning, its pronunciation, and a sentence that uses it naturally. For example, word, excited. Meaning, happy and full of energy because something good is happening. Example, I'm excited about my trip next week. Why is this method so effective? Because it helps you actively interact with each new word. You're not just reading it, you're writing it, thinking about it, and using it. Every week, go back and review your vocabulary journal. Look at the words you've learned and try to use them again in new sentences. Over time, your journal will become a personal dictionary full of the words you've mastered. It will also show you how much you've grown, which is very motivating. Step 7. Learn vocabulary through themes. To make vocabulary learning even more effective, try learning words in themes or topics. When you group related words together, it's easier for your brain to remember them. For example, if your theme is food, you can learn words like fruit, vegetables, spicy, sweet, bitter, salty, delicious, and fresh. If your theme is travel, you can learn words like airport, luggage, ticket, passport, destination, and flight. When words are connected by a common theme, your mind creates links between them like a web of meaning. This makes it much easier to remember and recall them when speaking. You can choose a new theme each week. Some great themes to start with include emotions, happy, nervous, excited, tired. Work, office, meeting, deadline, colleague. Home, kitchen, bedroom, furniture, clean. Nature, tree, river, mountain, weather. This method keeps your learning organized, interesting, and more memorable. Step 8. Be patient and keep practicing. And now, the most important advice of all, be patient. Building a strong vocabulary takes time, and it's completely normal to forget words or make mistakes along the way. Don't get discouraged. Every time you learn a new word, you're one step closer to fluency. Remember, learning English is not a race, it's a journey. The key is consistency, not perfection. If you keep practicing every day, even for 10 or 15 minutes, you will see real progress. Every word you learn today will help you understand and express more tomorrow. So keep going, keep learning, and keep believing in yourself. Learning vocabulary isn't just about memorization, it's about living with the language. Use these methods every day, Make vocabulary practice part of your life, and your English confidence will soar higher than ever before. Your vocabulary is the foundation of your English fluency. By learning in context, speaking with others, using fun tools, and reviewing consistently, you'll see incredible results. Now that you've learned how to build your vocabulary in a fun and natural way, it's time to focus on one of the most powerful parts of your fluency journey: practicing speaking regularly. Step 9. Practice speaking regularly. This is the key to improving your fluency. In this section, we'll talk about why speaking practice is so important, how you can fit it into your daily life, and some practical tips to help you get started. So, let's dive in. Why regular speaking practice is so important. Speaking is the skill that makes you actively use the language you're learning. Reading and listening are great for understanding grammar and building vocabulary, but speaking is where everything comes together. When you speak regularly, you start to internalize new words. You remember them faster because you're using them. Improve your pronunciation. You train your mouth and ears to work together. And build your confidence. You stop worrying about mistakes and start focusing on communicating. Regular speaking practice also helps you sound more natural. It helps you understand the rhythm, tone, and flow of English, all of which are essential for clear, effective communication. If you're serious about becoming fluent, then speaking must be part of your daily routine, just like brushing your teeth or checking your phone. Tip 1. Speak with friends or language partners. One of the easiest and most effective ways to improve your English is by talking with other people. This could be a friend, a classmate, a tutor, or a language exchange partner. When you speak with others, you get used to real conversations, learn to think and respond quickly, and get feedback that helps you improve faster. Don't worry about being perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters most is that you're speaking, expressing your ideas, and practicing consistently. If you can, join a language exchange app or online community. You'll meet people from all over the world who want to practice just like you. The more you speak with real people, the more confident and fluent you'll become. Tip 2. Talk to yourself in English. Now, this might sound a little funny, but it's actually one of the best ways to practice speaking, especially if you don't have a partner to talk with every day. When you talk to yourself, there's no pressure, no fear, and no judgment. It's just you and your English practice. Start small. Describe what's happening around you. For example, I'm making breakfast right now. The weather looks beautiful today. I'm tired, but I still have a lot to do. As you get more comfortable, talk about more complex topics like your goals, your opinions, or how your day went. You can also use your reflection time when walking, cooking, or driving to think and talk in English. It may feel awkward at first, but with time, it will become natural. Think of it as training your brain to think in English. And the more you think in English, the more fluent you become. Tip 3. Set speaking goals and track your progress. If you want to make real progress, you need a plan. That's where goal setting comes in. Set small, achievable goals for your speaking practice. For example, I'll speak in English for 10 minutes every day. I'll record myself talking about one topic each week. I'll join one English conversation per week. Having a clear goal helps you stay consistent and motivated. You can even keep a speaking journal. Write down what you practiced, how you felt, and what you learned each day. Listening to your recordings over time will show you how much you've improved. You'll notice that your sentences sound smoother, your pronunciation gets clearer, and your confidence grows stronger. Remember, progress happens little by little. Every time you speak, even for a few minutes, you're building your fluency. Step 10. Improve your pronunciation. Many English learners spend a lot of time learning grammar and vocabulary, which is great, but there's another important skill that often gets forgotten: pronunciation. Even if you know many words and understand all the grammar rules, if your pronunciation isn't clear, people may have a hard time understanding you. Good pronunciation is the key to being understood. Think of pronunciation as a bridge. It connects your words to the listener. If that bridge is weak or broken, your message might not reach the other person, even if your grammar is perfect. Imagine this. You're having a conversation, but the other person keeps saying, "Sorry? Could you repeat that?" That can be frustrating, right? That's why improving your pronunciation is one of the most effective ways to become a confident and fluent English speaker. How to improve your pronunciation. Record yourself. One of the most powerful ways to improve your pronunciation is by recording yourself speaking English. It might feel strange at first, but trust me, it works. Recording yourself helps you hear how you actually sound, not just how you think you sound. Here's how you can do it. Pick a sentence or short paragraph. It can be something from a book, a YouTube video, or even something you wrote yourself. Record yourself saying it. Use your phone or computer, anything works. Listen carefully to your recording. Pay attention to your pronunciation, tone, and rhythm. Are your words clear? Are you stressing the right syllables? Are there sounds that feel difficult to say? Compare your recording with a native speaker. You can use videos, podcasts, or pronunciation apps to hear how native speakers say the same words or sentences. Try to mimic their pronunciation and rhythm. Do this regularly, even for just 5 minutes a day, and you'll start to notice big improvements. Recording yourself not only helps you fix pronunciation mistakes, but it also lets you track your progress over time. You'll be able to listen to older recordings and hear how much better you've become. That's incredibly motivating. Step 11. Learn to think in English. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful habits you can build: thinking in English instead of translating from your native language. This habit is what truly separates fluent speakers from learners who struggle. When you think in your native language first and then translate to English, it slows you down. You spend extra time searching for words, trying to fit grammar rules, or worrying about mistakes. But when you start thinking directly in English, everything changes. You speak faster, more naturally, and with more confidence. You stop pausing to translate, your brain begins to feel English instead of studying it. That's when you start sounding fluent. Why thinking in English helps you become fluent. When you think in English, you speak without hesitation. You stop overthinking grammar. And you build confidence in expressing yourself naturally. Your brain gets used to processing ideas in English, and over time, English becomes a normal part of how you think every day. How to start thinking in English? Let's break it down into simple, practical steps. Step 1. Start with simple thoughts. You don't need to think about complex ideas at first. Just describe what's happening around you in your mind or out loud. For example, when you're in the kitchen, say, "I'm opening the fridge. I'm going to get some milk. I think I'll make a cup of coffee." If you're walking to work or school, think, "The weather is nice today. I'm waiting for the bus. There are many people around." These small sentences may seem simple, but they train your brain to stay in English mode. Step 2. Label things around you. Look around your room or your home and name everything in English. For example, "This is my desk. Here's my notebook. I see my laptop and my cup of tea." You can even use sticky notes to label objects. It's a fun way to keep English in your daily life. Step 3. Practice inner conversations. Talk to yourself in your mind in English. For example, if you're planning your day, think, I need to finish my homework. I'll call my friend later. I want to cook something delicious tonight. The more you practice thinking this way, the more automatic it becomes. Step 4. Challenge yourself gradually. After you're comfortable with simple thoughts, move to more complex ones. Start thinking about your feelings, opinions, or even your dreams in English. For example, I feel proud because I studied hard today. I think learning English is becoming easier for me. My goal is to speak English fluently by the end of the year. These sentences build not only your vocabulary, but also your confidence. Step 5. Don't worry about mistakes. When you're thinking in English, mistakes don't matter. Nobody is listening, it's just you. The goal isn't perfection, it's fluency. The more you practice, the more fluent and natural you'll sound. Thinking in English will completely change the way you learn. It makes you faster, more confident, and more fluent. Every time you choose to think or speak in English, even for a few minutes, you're one step closer to mastering the language. Conclusion: keep learning and keep growing. By thinking about simple actions like this, you start getting used to using English in your everyday life. It doesn't matter if you're at home, at work, or walking outside, you can always practice. Try describing your surroundings and what you're doing in English. Say things like, I'm walking to the store. The sky looks beautiful today. I'm making some tea for breakfast. When you do this, your brain slowly learns to think in English naturally without translating from your native language. It becomes a habit, and soon you'll notice that English feels more comfortable and natural to you. Once you're confident with simple thoughts, move on to bigger ideas. Start thinking about your plans, opinions, and dreams in English. For example, I want to travel to another country next year. Learning English is helping me feel more confident. I think I can achieve my goals if I keep practicing. When you do this, you're not just learning English, you're living it. A final message for you. Thank you so much for watching and learning with me today. I truly hope you found this video full of practical tips and simple techniques to help you improve your English speaking skills. Remember, improving your fluency, confidence, and communication skills is completely possible. All it takes is consistency and a positive mindset. If you've made it this far, that's amazing. But if you joined halfway through, I really encourage you to go back and watch the full video. Every single tip I shared, from building your vocabulary step by step, to practicing speaking every day, to learning how to think in English, is designed to make a real difference in your progress. These methods are not just lessons, they are tools you can start using today. Your journey to English fluency. Always remember, learning a language is a journey, not a race. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Every small step you take, learning a new word, speaking for a few minutes, or even watching an English video, moves you closer to your goal. Whether your dream is to speak English confidently, do well in your studies, or advance in your career, every bit of effort counts. These English skills are your gateway to amazing new opportunities, and you're already on the right path. Stay connected and keep growing. If you're ready to take your English learning to the next level, make sure to subscribe and join this wonderful community of learners just like you. Here, you'll find support, motivation, and helpful lessons that will keep you inspired on your journey. Think of this channel as your learning partner, guiding you, cheering for you, and helping you grow every step of the way. Final encouragement. Before we finish, I want you to remember one important thing. Practice consistently and celebrate your progress, no matter how small it feels. The techniques I shared today are like seeds you plant. With time, patience, and regular practice, those seeds will grow into strong, beautiful results. Be proud of every word you learn, every sentence you speak, and every moment you choose to keep going. Thank you again for being here and for believing in yourself. I'm so proud of your effort, and I can't wait to hear about your success. Leave a comment below and share how these tips have helped you, or tell me what topics you'd like me to cover in future lessons. Until next time, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep learning. You've got this. Take care and happy learning.